What is going on? It's pretty late right now, but I figured, well, I checked the comments on my last video, and shout out to High on Gas for bringing this one up, which is working out. And I think this is one that I feel like this is a topic that a lot of people talk about. Oh, I need to join my world. Um, yeah, I feel like this is a topic that is talked about a lot, and I think for good reason. It's it's just something that a lot of people are very proud of. I feel like I think people that go to the gym and people that work out or do any sort of sport, I feel like they're very proud of the fact that they participate in that sort of activity, and for very good reason, which I'm going to get into. But before I kind of start rambling, I'm going to be out for 2 weeks. Terrible timing. But I'm gonna be on vacation. So I think what I'm gonna do is pre-record a bunch of videos. This one I think is probably actually just gonna be pre-recorded as well. Like I don't know when I'm gonna upload it, but I plan on just recording a whole bunch today and tomorrow because I leave on Saturday and it is Thursday night right now. Um, but yeah, and I'll probably just upload those pre-recorded videos throughout the week. So if y'all comment something and I don't immediately make a video on it, just know that that's what's going on. But yeah, please do comment because I read them all and I think y'all have good ideas on stuff to talk about. So appreciate all the support recently. Um, but yeah, so working out, I think for the sake of not sounding like too much of a gym bro here, although I do go to the gym, I think I'm gonna broaden the topic from like going to the gym kind of just I'm gonna broaden that to just let's say like exercise in general. I think that's a good way to approach this video because I realize that people have different goals, and that's something I'll talk about later. But people have different goals when it comes to exercise, and not everyone needs to go to the gym, right? Like if your goal is to I don't know just get really lean and um do cardio or like maybe you want to like run a marathon, like you don't necessarily need to go to the gym and lift weights. And then similarly, like if your goal is to just become like I don't know like a power lifter, a bodybuilder or something, you might not need to do that much cardio, although I do think cardio is good. It's a good complement to lifting from my experience. But anyways, I'm gonna move over to the water because I want to make my house over there. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of broadly talk about exercise in general, and then throw in my own experience too. So when it comes to my own experience, I have been going to the gym for I'd say about um like I've been going to the gym seriously for about 2.5 years now. I've been very consistent over the past 2.5 years, I'd say. I went to the gym for the first time when I started college. This was my freshman year. That was my first time, like honestly, stepping foot in the gym and actually working out. And it was my roommate at the time during my freshman year that got me to go because he's a strong dude. He really liked going to the gym, and he was like, "Hey, you should come sometime." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Um, so yeah, I started going. Didn't really know what to expect. I think I was going like I don't know, um, like 3 times a week, something like that. Started off, I'd say comparatively slow. Nowadays, I usually go to the gym 5-ish times a week in the morning. Um, and yeah, apart from the gym, other stuff that I do enjoy doing. I mentioned I forgot which video it was. I think it was the going outside one. But yeah, I started biking last summer. That's been really cool. I'm planning on continuing that this this next summer too. Once the weather gets a little better. Make a boat here. But yeah, so biking and lifting are my big ones. I run occasionally, but um my shins always hurt when I run, so I need to get that checked out before I do any more running. But yeah, so been in the gym for 2.5 years, been biking for half a year, let's say. Growing up, I did swim team for a little bit. Never got good at it, so I didn't really It wasn't something I just like continued to do, but I did do it for a while. What else did I do? That's that's honestly kind of the extent of my experience with exercise, I guess. That's the extent of it. And yeah, so I wanted to talk about some of the benefits that I've found with working out. And I know, high on gas in your comment, you mentioned going to the gym, and I think that's really really great. The gym's awesome. I can recommend that. So I think you'll have a lot of fun. But I think one of the let's talk about the first sort of obvious benefit, right? You exercise because you want to be in better physical shape. Or I guess you just want to be healthy in general, I think is a better way to put it. You want to be healthy in general, and people have again different health goals. Like I think that's something. Can I get out of this boat? Actually, I don't understand. Oh, okay. I guess you left click. That's what I think you'll find that to be a common theme throughout this video, right? I think you have to set your own goals when it comes to going to the gym, and everyone's gonna have different goals. So I think for the majority of people, I think people want to be healthy. And part of that is like, looking good, but then also feeling good. And then feeling good both physically and mentally, I think are both equally important things. But I think I'll start with like the physical sort of aspect of it because obviously exercise is a physical activity by nature. So obviously, working out in any capacity is is good for you. Getting your heart rate up, building muscle, like all of that is good for you. I think no matter how little you work out, it's good for you. I think for people that, are wanting to start like a workout or exercise routine but don't really know where to start, I'd say just start small. Like I talked about in my going outside video, like even just going outside for a walk. Like walking is genuinely one of the best and sort of like um easiest to maintain ways of just getting your cardio in. And I think people underestimate the power of just like walking, 5,000, 10,000 steps a day. So, yeah, my recommendation is start small, no matter what it is that you're trying to achieve with working out. So, yeah, physical health obviously very important. And then I feel like this could be a whole different video, but in addition to like actually working out, also making sure that your nutrition supports your goals. Like you don't want to eat like crap, but train super hard. Um, like you're not going to achieve your goals that way because nutrition is really important. But I digress. I think that's a topic for a completely different video. I don't want to make this one too long. Um, ooh, is there something in here? Um, yeah, but aside from physical health, also I think mental health is a big one. I think it's a big reason why a lot of people work out. I know for me, like I think my mental health has drastically improved since I started getting into a consistent workout routine. And I haven't really put too much thought into why that is, but I guess I'll talk about kind of what I think the reasons are. I think a big reason is that working out kind of helps relieve stress, right? Like doing something very difficult physically on your body, I think relieves a lot of mental stress because you start focusing on how much friggin' physical pain that you're in that you kind of forget, any sort of mental pain that you're in. And it's not like a I wouldn't say that's like it's a cure to your mental health, but it definitely helps. And I think the more that you do it, the more the I guess like the more your body will kind of almost like forget about whatever sort of mental struggles you're going through. And I feel like I'm kind of like describing it as like a coping mechanism, which is not what I think working out is. I do not think it's a coping mechanism. Um, but yeah, you kind of get what I mean, I guess. Um, I'm just not super good at explaining this sort of stuff, but that's how I think of it. Then also another thing is I think it's like if you get into a routine, I think having like a habit is also a really good thing. I think that having a habit makes things second nature. And this was actually another video idea that I had, was like talking about habits, just habits in general. But I think the habit of working out, I think, is a really, really good one because like you don't even have to think about working out anymore. It's like it's almost like free therapy, you know? Um, Almost free because you gotta pay for a gym membership and stuff like that. But you know what I mean. Um, and yeah, um, what else for mental benefits? Um, trying to think. I know there's mental benefits. I swear there's more, but like it's just not coming to me right now. So I'll talk about some other stuff. Um, I think on the topic of habits, I feel like once you start building habits like working out, for example, I think that starts carrying over into other parts of your life too. I think like if you start building consistency with working out, for example, like if you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym, um, I don't know, 3 days a week or something like that. I think that once you start getting certain habits down, you'll start realizing that like you start building more habits, and then you start filling your day with more and more habits. And soon enough, like your habits have kind of become second nature, that you don't really need to think about doing them anymore. And then like it just becomes a thing where like you're like you wake up and you're like, okay, at this time on this day, I go to the gym. That's just what I do. Like I don't even have to think about it. I don't question it. I just do it. And I think that's kind of where I'm at with working out. Um, I think I'm at the point where I really don't have to think about it. Like um, even if I'm like super busy one day and it's maybe difficult for me to convince myself to go to the gym, like I think to myself like, hey, I'm on a streak right now, you know? I'm on a streak and I don't want to break that streak because it's my habit, and you almost feel a little bit guilty. Um you almost feel a little bit guilty that you're choosing not to do something that you always do. And I don't think, first of all, I don't think you should feel guilty. I'm just giving an example because I feel like once you start feeling guilty about it, it I just don't think that's good, right? Like if you don't feel like working out one day, if you really don't feel like working out one day, don't force yourself to do it. But um, I think my approach with it is like sometimes even if I don't feel like doing it, I I push myself to stay disciplined and do it. That's excluding, like if you're like super sick or something. Like if I'm really sick, like obviously I'm not gonna force my body to do what it doesn't want to do. But if you're just feeling lazy one day, I feel like that's a really great way to like having a habit is a really great way to break your laziness. Because if you think about it, like you really have no good reason to not go to the gym or go work out or do whatever it is that you were gonna do. Because I feel like being lazy just isn't a good excuse, you know. And I feel like that's a situation where I feel like you should introduce like a little bit of guilt almost, because um, because obviously like being lazy isn't a good thing. I don't think anyone wants to like aspires to be lazy. Um, but I think once you have a habit, I think that it's a really good way to prevent laziness. And then in addition to preventing laziness, this is something I thought of too. I feel like it prevents boredom as well. And that's just like I think preventing boredom also just comes down to your hobbies. Oh shoot. Is there a creeper there? That's a creeper. Okay. Oh my god. This guy's jump shotting me. That's crazy. Holy crap, there's so many mobs. Okay. Anyways, curing boredom, right? If your time is taken up doing productive things like working out, you spend less time doing the negative things that you would otherwise be doing. Um, I don't feel like I need to like elaborate on what those negative things are because I think like you guys probably generally know what I'm talking about. Just the bad habits. like the more you build the good habits, the less time you have to spend on the bad habits. And I think that um like the good habits like working out can counteract the bad habits, and by not doing the bad habits you're like even more so reinforcing the good habits like working out. So like one example I just thought of was like if you're spending a lot of time, I don't know, I'll use going to the gym again as an example. You're spending a lot of time doing research on the gym, figuring out like, okay, what workouts should I do, what workout split should I do, um how many reps, how many sets, all that good stuff. I feel like the more you start researching that sort of stuff, the less you're, you know, um, kind of sitting around idle. I don't know, thinking about like what kind of I don't know, like what kind of like junk food you want to get next. Because I feel like by by filling your head with these sort of things about the gym, and you're like, okay, like I gotta hit my protein limits for today. It starts to like kind of phase out these other bad thoughts just by just based on like the time that you spend thinking about the good thoughts. Because like if you're constantly thinking about like how much protein should I get in a day, you're not going to be thinking about, buying junk food and like eating sugary snacks and stuff like that. So I don't know if that was like a valid example. That was just something that came off the dome. um but yeah, because I feel like by having a habit to by having a habit of going to the gym, I've also like unintentionally almost created a habit of eating healthier too. Um, because I think the two complement each other, and I think you can't have one without the other. So it's like by building one habit, you really just unintentionally have built two habits. And I recognize that that's not the case for everyone. Like I know there's people who I have friends who like who go to the gym a lot, but they likewise still don't eat that well. But I think it's much more likely that you're going to build habits that complement each other, um, once you start doing one of them. So yeah, that's my take on that sort of thing. Man, when am I gonna get diamonds? There's so many skeletons. Oh, there's lava there. Cool. We're getting close, I think. Um, but yeah, and then also, I think just like doing something like that every day, right? Like I have this, like I have a routine of going to the gym in the morning. I feel like if I have that sort of like that one thing that I do every day, there's not going to be a day where I'm like, wow, I was so unproductive today. I didn't do anything. Because there's always that something that you have done. And I think that's also a great feeling, and it's really rewarding because a lot of times I feel like the less you do in a day, the more discouraged you get to do other stuff. So it becomes like this what do you call it? Like a negative feedback loop, right? Like the less you do, the less like the lazier you are one day, the more lazy you become throughout the day. Right? Like if you start off your day really like you're just like lying in bed and doing nothing, rotting there, it's it's like you're gonna end up feeling worse, and then you're gonna end up like being less likely to do other stuff during that day. So I feel like, for example, starting your day out with a run or a bike ride or a gym session, I feel like that's like a really really great way to start your day because you've already started your day. The earliest hours of your day have already been productive, and you're like, wow, okay, like I'm already productive. We'll keep that streak going. Um, yeah, that's what I think one of the big themes is. The one of the big overarching themes is like, um, if you start working out, you kind of like pick up speed, and it makes you want to do it even more. Um, but yeah, I think the most important thing is to just start, and yeah, I think um, that's really the key to working out, and then building a habit. Um, it's tough. Like when you first start, there's like you might start going to the gym and then just quit after a week. But I think there's always ways to like reinforce those habits, whether it be like I don't know, like an app on your phone or something, or like finding a friend to work out with you. I think is a really really great way of keeping your habit going. Um, So yeah, like if you have a friend that already goes to the gym and you want to get into the gym, like, people, I feel like people in like any sort of workout community, I feel like are very, very helpful and very welcoming to newcomers. And a lot of people think like there's a lot of judgment in the fitness community and all that. And there are people that are going to judge you, but like those people are like very rare, and I don't think you should I don't think that should stop you from starting to work out or anything. Um but yeah, I don't know. Go work out, get jacked, and look good and feel good. I think that's what working out does to an MF. So yeah, wow, I just spent like this whole episode mining. I need to like actually start doing something. I got to start doing something productive in this world. Um, I got a ton of iron though, so that's a plus. But yeah, I might just record another video back to back, so we'll see. Um, but yeah, thanks for the video idea again. Comment other stuff that you want me to talk about, and yeah, solid rant session today. See you guys.